Now, I'm not saying the market's going to slow down by any sort of means. Right now everything's beautiful. This is like the November that we love, where we're seeing $100 spikes on KRTX, when we're seeing $15 climbs on MYOV. Now we're seeing this morning a $20 climb before the day even opened on up. I mean, this is as good as it gets, right? This is as good as it gets. So, right now, definitely take advantage of it. But at the same time, please understand again, that's not always going to work in the future. And you still want to have a game plan with everything that you guys do. Little side note, next Monday, guys, next Monday starts our options boot camp lesson. Yes, we will be doing a week-long course teaching you about options, how to play them correctly, how to place contract orders, and different strategies to use. All right? Let's dive into our market briefing. What do we have here, guys? U.S. stock futures are pointing to a lower open on Wednesday after the Dow broke a 3-day winning streak and the S&P 500 broke a 5-day winning streak. However, the Nasdaq bucked Tuesday's downdraft, logging its third positive session in a row. Investors get minutes from the latest Fed meeting at 2 p.m. while looking to retail earnings for a read on the American consumer. So we are seeing futures a little bit lower after the Dow broke a 3-day win streak. Now, with that being said, the SPY still up a ton. We had a red day yesterday, but it really wasn't, that bad. It also had a gap up yesterday, so the red day kind of just came back to where it was on Friday, or excuse me, on Monday. So it wasn't really, that bad whatsoever. But the SPY, we'll see what it can do today. It's been a beast. Really, it moves from what? China trade talks. That's really the number one thing, right? China trade talks. That's the number one thing. That's what gets, this moving the best. So let's continue to keep our eyes peeled on, these plays right here. So, what are the best plays today? Let's go over, of course, the elephant in the room. What are the best plays? What should we be getting involved with? What are we going to be looking at? I made it nice and easy, nice and simple. And also, again, since I was trading this morning, made that $431 gain. I didn't have too much time to write everything out that I wanted to. So I just put the main ones that you guys really are supposed to be looking at. What are the main ones that you guys want to be looking at? Honestly, comes down to RAV, CGIX, and then our previous top gainers, MYOV and KRTX. I like putting all the news to give you guys all the options, but at least at the start, these are going to be the top 4 that you want to focus on, right? So let's go over these. Let's talk about them, and let's make sure you guys have a complete understanding about these plays, why they're, why they're happening or what's happening towards them right now. So we have ARAV, right? This one came out with its press release at 7 a.m. Right? So if we look right here, ARAV, check this out, 7 a.m. Live stream goes up at around 6:55 every single morning. That's usually the time I get the live stream up, right around 6:55 every single morning. And we could see that we report positive data. Guys, it's the same exact thing as KRTX. It's the same exact thing as MYOV. We're having positive data. We're having data, and that's just leading towards these great rips, great runs, right? We have positive data talking about the relationship and progression-free survival in women and ovarian cancer, right? So what's going on here? What are some of our keywords to look for in hot press releases? Well, one of our nice keywords is always, again, positive. We don't need to know, again, what this drug really does or how it's made or anything along those lines. We just need to look for our keywords in hot press releases. We have the word positive, right? Positive, good 3-star word, right? We have positive data. Well, what do they have positive data in? Well, they have positive data, talking about free survival in women with ovarian cancer. Well, whenever we talk about cancer, that's a 3-star word. So we have positive data basically on our treatment of cancer, right? So good keywords right there. On top of that, we have statistically significant, right? Significant, right? So again, very important, right? And we also have the italics bold underneath the title, which usually shows, some good, another kind of like good header underneath it. So inside the press release, we have the italic font, right? Very, very nice. And again, if we look back, ARAV right here went from $7 and spiked all the way up to $30. That was awesome, right? And we could also look at KRTX. And KRTX has a similar press release talking about positive data on cancer right here, meeting its primary endpoints and having all that italics bold underneath here. The stock that ran over $100, We also have MYOV. The stock went on a nice, spike yesterday at $15. We have again talking about cancer having positive results, and again we have the italics bold underneath. Notice again, tomorrow, if we see what positive data with that italics bold underneath, what are we going to do? You're going to want to hop in right away. The thing is, guys, I get it. We don't know exactly when a press release is going to come out. That could be 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I know, again, sometimes you wake up at 7 a.m. and no hot press releases come out at 8:30. And you say, oh, I could have slept in a little bit. I'm a little tired. Right. And I know, again, there's times that you guys wake up at 7 o'clock and, things work out great. Sometimes you may wake up for 7 o'clock for a whole entire week and nothing comes out at 7 o'clock. Right. But it seems like the moment, you start sleeping in, that's when that hot press releases come out. Right now, we're in a hot market. Right now, we're in a hot market. Traders are making a lot of money. Yesterday, I was able to make over $500. Today, I was able to make $431. I'm pushing $1,000 this week already. Right. Last week I was able to make over $1,500. This week I'm already up $1,000. So hopefully, again, back-to-back $1,500 week. Just those 2 weeks alone, going to be up hopefully around $3,000 this month, and keep on going. So again, just about having those small gains consistently add up, and go from there, right? So ARAV, getting back to this play, we do have a nice credible press release behind this, talking about its positive data. Now, ARAV, as I said, this one was a little choppy this morning. It had a huge spread. If you guys were awake this morning at 7 a.m., you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But this had a pretty big spread as the bid was down towards around $7, but the ask was at $9. But then people bought the ask at $9. Then the ask went all the way up towards like $10, $11. And then people were buying that. It was a $2 spread, and people were buying it up $2. Now, why were people buying in the $2 spread? Well, again, it could just be because how hot this market we're in. Right? It could just be because how hot the market is, right? We saw stock go, on a $100 climb, right? We saw a $100 climb happen on KRTX. The day yesterday, again, yesterday we saw MYOV go on about an $18 climb yesterday. People could say, wow, we have positive data. I don't want to miss out on today's climb. I don't care if I hop in on a dollar spread. I just know, again, I'm here first, and I know a lot of people are going to jump in on this. So, hey, I'll jump in on it, and I'll be able to make some nice cash, right? And what happens? ARAV goes on a massive rip and run. So every single day is basically feeding off each other, right? Every single day is starting to feed off each other, right? Where we start saying to ourselves, hey, you know what? ARAV, this stock just went on a $20 climb, right? Guess what? Next press release that comes out, people are going to say, I don't want to miss it. So, that's why the stock was able to go on such a great rip and run. Now, the thing was, even I was nervous on the spread because the spread was so big. And again, as I said, these markets are amazing because we love how big these markets can run, right? These stocks can run, but they also get frustrating as if you see a stock go from, $7 to $10, what's your instinct? All right, $3 spike. All right, I'm going to sit out of it. But then it goes to $10 to $12, and you say, oh, okay, it's gone on a $5 spike. That's enough. $12 to $15, $15 to $20, $20 to $25. I know how frustrating it gets, to sit there, watch the stock spike and not pull the trigger because you obviously are just trying to be a smart trader. But what happens? It just keeps going, going, going. These are all from momentum. As long as people keep buying these stocks, as long as we stay in this mindset of hot trading, people are going to keep pushing this up dollars and dollars and dollars. And that's why, again, chasers are getting away with making huge gains. Because usually if you chase and you buy a stock up $1.50, $2, $3, usually you're at the top and you get dumped on. But the thing is, everyone in the world is chasing right now, and the stocks just keep on going, right? But that's not really my type of strategy. So what did I do? How was I able to make my $431 today? That was all from the bounce play. So I just try to find the common consensus line. So I saw ARAV spike on up. It went up towards around $22. Then it kind of fell back down towards around $19. Then it kind of just consolidated around this $20 area before popping on up. So I don't really have like a clear cut, maybe 1950, maybe 2150, but then the stock spiked back on up right here, started coming back on down, bounced off $21 right there, came back down towards around the 2150 mark right there, and then the stock started, climbing on up, once again. Now, as the stock started falling, I was saying to myself, all right, you know what? This isn't any sort of, clear cut, okay, $19 $21, 21.50. There's not really any clear cut 100%, best bounce area. So let me go, what I think it was at, and let me go maybe like 50 cents lower. Right, so that's kind of what I was looking at. So we had a bounce play right around this $21 mark, and that's kind of the clearest bounce play I can see. And let me get a little arrow if you guys don't know where I'm talking about. So this was again the clearest bounce play I could see, right at that $21 mark, right around that area. So I was saying, all right, we are having a lot of strong selling right here. Let me look for maybe like 50 cents back towards that, the next strong resistance line. And again, if it's $21 before, I just again was looking for entries around 20.50. Yeah, I did limit order in. Again, I can't market order in on these plays, so I was placing limit orders just trying to get filled on my shares. I got filled on the 500 shares, and I was able to get this pop back on up. So I was able to get in as the stock hit this lower shadow and this lower shadow, and then I was able to get out as the stock moved back all the way up towards 22.50 plus. Now, again, I didn't hold as the stock ran all the way up to $23, all the way up towards around 23.50. That would have been awesome. I got out right before it came up to 22.50, and I was able to make $431. And again, how did I get out of that play? Well, that's just again selling on the bids. The bids were moving on up, and as the bids move on up, I change my order and then go ahead and sell in the bids. So I limit order in near support, right? I try to get in near support if that's 2055, 2060, somewhere around that area, and then you sell on the bids as the stock climbs on up, as the bids is what people are willing to buy at. So put your limit order nice and low, sell at the bids and go on a nice climb. So I was happy I was able to get a little piece of the cake, right? A little piece of the cake. It's like I didn't get the whole chocolate bar, but I got a little Hershey Kiss. And again, that's fine. Sometimes again, you have enough Hershey Kisses, you can have a nice full tummy of dessert, right? So, that's basically all I was looking for on my ARAV trade right there to get in on that play. If you're saying, Deck, can you slide over your P&L? I can't slide over my P&L because this is one of those I did on my mobile broker. But again, that's the mobile broker that I've been working with about the past 2 weeks. So again, that's the only reason right now I haven't slid anything over to show you. Obviously, I show every single trade I make. And whenever I trade, I always even live stream. I bring over my broker. The only reason I'm not showing that right now is because again, I'm holding it on my phone. But I can look to see if I can go online or something and drag it over in a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, but I'll be happy to show you guys that in a little bit later. No problem whatsoever. So right now, guys, ARAV, that stock is starting to come back on down. So ARAV, that stock is starting to come back on down at this time. And then from there, right now, again, this is going to be holding, trying to hold that $15 mark. So again, it's kind of like every $5 is going to be holding up as a nice resistance line, right? So every $5 is going to be a resistance line, and every $5 is going to be some sort of support line, okay? So every $5 is going to be a resistance line. Every $5 is going to be some sort of support line on a stock that's moving, like $25. Again, this thing opened up at around. This thing was around $6.50 last night. It ran all the way up towards around $29. So if we're getting, about a $25 climb, every $5 is going to be a pretty strong support or resistance line. $15, $20, $25, $30, etc. Okay. So ARAV, definitely one we want to watch. But let's keep on moving on through. What else do we want to look at, guys? Well, we still want to keep our eyes peeled on yesterday's top gainer, MYOV. If, let's say, ARAV doesn't get any sort of hype, if ARAV doesn't get any sort of hype towards it right now, well, then what's going to happen? People are going to go back to MYOV because MYOV was the stock that spiked yesterday really well. Right? This stock went on a beautiful rip and run. I'm going to switch back to a 5-minute time frame. This was yesterday's #1 top gainer. So we'll see if MYOV is going to continue. Guess what? If MYOV doesn't continue, where do you think people are going to go? You already know it. The stock that's still hot, KRTX. Right? KRTX. This stock has a lot of potential to go on a nice rip. This stock, KRTX, has a lot of potential to get its next leg on up. Right? So this one could definitely move on up. This one can continue to climb. This one could get that nice big rip and run. KRTX is a play that definitely has a lot of hype towards it. So again, some great continuation on this play right here over on KRTX. We're going to see if this stock is going to be able to break through 140, as this has been the play that has moved over $100 so far. It started on a Monday at around $18. It has run all the way up towards $150. Absolutely huge move. If again we don't see any volume on ARAV, if we don't see any volume on CGIX, people may go over to KRTX. What was another stock that was getting people excited today, guys? CGIX. CGIX is another play that was getting people excited today. And CGIX, this is a 4 million in float stock that came out with an earnings report. Now, how good was the earnings report? Earnings report was decent, said they had a growth of 35%. So they had a 35% growth in quarter three, right? So a 35% growth in quarter three. And that is what's leading towards that nice spike, that nice rip, and that nice run. So, earnings again isn't my favorite thing in the world, but we are in such a hot market. Traders want to play a 1 million in float stock, right? A 1 million in float stock. Little side note, we do have little press releases. DFFN, this stock talked about November 19th yesterday, presents early findings showing an increased survival. So again, on its phase three, trying to kind of moving towards positive data. So DFFN is, working on getting those early findings on survival, on their treatment they're working on. ELTK is just a back burner play. As you guys know, every single Monday, I put a list of back burner stocks, which means they're basically stocks that have good chart setups. And all these plays that I just posted right there are all good chart setup plays. I usually just copy and paste that, put it in my notepad. So that's what, again, you guys should do as well. Notepad's underneath the live stream. You guys can go ahead and check that out right there, right? So right now, those are some plays that you may just want to be keeping on your back burner. I'll also post those over in alerts chat as well. But the top stocks we want to focus on, is going to be ARAV. We want to see if that one's going to be able to spike and be able to hold its gains. What's the pros about it? The pros is that this stock has already ran $20. The pros about it is that this stock is a lower float play. The pros about it is this stock has a great press release behind it. And the pros about it is that the past few days we saw KRTX go on a $100 climb. We saw MYOV go on about a $15 climb. And then today, again, MYOV went on about a $15 climb, and ARAVs ran over $20. What's the negative? The negative is that it was up 300 plus percent. It may not be able to hold those gains and turn into more of like a SAEX, where what happens? The stock could possibly just turn into a red candle. Okay, so if that does happen, again, we want to keep our eyes peeled over on CGIX. CGIX is again 1 million in float. This stock is currently up 174% right now, and this stock had a 35% increase on its earnings. Okay, so again, that had an earnings report. The con about it is it's a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Earnings reports aren't that great, but the pros about it is super hot market, a number one top gainer right now. And with that being said, guys, this stock as well is 1 million in float, right? So definitely something that you guys need to be looking at. Last but not least, we are going to keep our eyes peeled on our top gainers, right? Our top gainers, which are going to be CGIX, or excuse me, our top gainers, which are going to be, what do we got here? I'm blanking out. KRTX, right? And then we're also going to be watching after that MYOV, right? So these are our top gainers that we want to be looking at, that we want to be focusing on, as either of these could bring in some hype. All right, let's set up our morning poll, and let's see what you guys are thinking. So let's set up our morning poll. What stock will, so let's go, what stock will do the best today? All right, what stocks will do the best today? Is it going to be ARAV? Is it going to be CGIX? Is it X? Is it going to be previous top gainer MYOV? And again, if you want me to, no problem. I'll put, DFFN up there. Low float stock, number 3 top gainer. Again, DFFN, I'll put that one on the list as well. So everyone go ahead, cast your vote, and you guys are all good. So everyone go vote. I'll give you guys, about 30 seconds here to cast your vote, and we'll see where everyone's looking. All right, if you guys have not yet cast your vote in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what we got. Share the results. Stop the poll. CGIX. Okay, so you guys are going with CGIX is going to be the best play. So right now we have AREV on the top, CGIX on the bottom. All right, but you guys are skipping, AREV. You're saying that one's done with. You guys are saying nope, not the previous high of the days. You guys are looking at CGIX as the #1 top gainer. You guys are usually spot on. So again, CGIX. You guys are saying that one's getting hype, putting that one on the top. ARAV is going on the bottom. Market is now live. Let's see what we got coming on up right here, and we'll see where the hype's going to move to. DFFN, watch for the break of the 13 EMA. If we could ever break 13 EMA, that's where we could see some hype towards it. ARAV, again, it probably needs to get a bounce play soon. ARAV may just go on a quick morning spike coming up, guys. Little heads up, just because it did have so much potential towards it. So since there was so much ripping, there's a $20 spike on it. It may try to get one spike up to like the $15 if it could ever break like $13.50. So just keep that on watch. DFFN, again, 13 EMA coming up. That's going to be right around 49 cents. So 49 cents, that one's going to be a little tough one. Right now, CGIX trying to hold up right around $5. I know right at the start of the day, things get a little bit tough. Because you always want to try to find the best play. Right now, CGIX is coming on down. So right now, again, CGIX coming on down doesn't mean, again, it's done with. We'll see if this stock could possibly U-shape up and around. Right? Doesn't mean the stock is done with. We just got to see a possible U-shape pattern, up and around for a red to green move. So CGIX, good job so far. Let's see if this stock can red to green and come on up. ARAV, this stock is starting to fall a little bit at this time. ELTK is a back burner play. And the thing is, I agree with you guys on the fact that ARAV may not spike big, during market hours because it already went on such a massive run in pre-market. It kind of is like the day is opening as the stock is, near it's kind of giving a lot back, right? So it's kind of like this, ARAV right here. The stock went on this massive rip and run. It's starting to give a lot back right here. MYOV trying to get a little bit of action. As we know, if we do not see any action, guys, if we do not see action on CGIX or ARAV, where's the next two we want to look at? We want to look at the previous top gainers, KRTX, and we also want to look at MYOV. So it really comes down to CGIX, right? CGIX, watch the rebreak of $5. ARAV, watch the break of $15. If these don't spike on up, again, look at previous top gainers of KRTX, and then after that, MYOV, as these are trying to get a little bit of potential. Here's ARAV. Here's that $15 touch I was talking about. And the reason I think it's just running up to $15 right now is traders just want to trade something at least at the start of the day, and they say, hey, ARAV just ran 20 bucks. It wouldn't be a big deal if the stock went from $13 to $15. So I feel like $15 is going to be a nice little area where people are going to lock in. But again, the reason I said ARAV, watch the stock to run up to $15, at the start of the day today, is just because, again, it went on a $20 pop. People are going to be heading over here regardless. And I feel like, again, going from 13 to 15 isn't really too big of a deal on this play. CGIX is trying to red to green move, and I know you guys are looking that one. I know you guys are liking that play. Right here, still looking to see where this volume's at. Most volume we have seen so far has been pre-market, about 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's been the hottest so far today, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get rid of the poll results. So if you guys want the poll results, make sure you guys hold them. Or again, take a picture of that or so. But I'm going to get rid of the poll results in about 10 seconds. All right, so ARAV still watching that play. CGIX needs to break $5. Again, right now our top gainers of today aren't spiking yet. Aren't spiking really too hard yet. ARAV ran up to $15. CGIX needs to get above $5. So what does that mean, guys? That means right now, again, we want to look at previous top gainers. If that's MYOV or if that's going to be KRTX. Now, probably a lot of you guys are more interested on MYOV because it's a little bit cheaper in price. If MYOV could start getting in that $14 range, it'll start picking on up, and especially if it starts getting above 14.50, it could start moving in a quick manner. Little side note, I am seeing FUV get a little bit of pop on the breakout scanner over here. FUV, as you guys can see, it has an 18 count, 19 count. It's starting to pick up a little bit over on FUV. That is, I believe, it's a 9 million in float stock. Do we have any reasoning on FUV right here on why the stock's moving? Any news? I do not see any news on FUV. How about filings? November 15th was last filing. I do not see any filing. Let me double check this over on Yahoo Finance right now. FUV, any sort of news, any sort of filing. That's what I'm looking for. Any sort of reason on why the stock would start moving on up. Last press release I see on FUV, it was 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So I do not see anything on this. I do not see anything on FUV on why this would be holding. But maybe again, momentum could help it. But I do not see a reasoning, news or filing on why this popping on up. The other ones, CGIX, we have earnings, right? AREV, we have positive, trials or positive results. KRTX, this stock right here, this stock had positive phase 2 data. I would say right now, nope, MYOV still dropping. So MYOV not above that resistance line. Right now, sit on your hands. Sit on your hands right now. You're right. You guys are all good. Alternator, I wouldn't say it's slow. It's still very, very hot. It's just again, we haven't seen a spike yet. But the thing is, once one stock starts spiking, everyone's going to move over towards it. Right? That's the thing. So once one stock starts spiking, everyone's most likely going to move into it. Right now, we are seeing CGIX get a little bit of a pullback as well. CGIX having a little bit of a pullback. ARAV still just trying to hold right now, trying to hold that bottom $13 area. So everything right now is falling. It's okay if we haven't pulled the trigger yet. CGIX coming on down. ARAV's coming on down. MYOV trying to get a little bit of hype, moving on up. Also, as you guys can see, FUV is still moving on up. Now, FUV right here, I'll put it on the top level too. But as I said, I do not see any sort of reason behind this play. So I do not see any sort of reasoning behind this play on why, FUV is up. But it is still trying to hit some new highs as people are running over towards it. If you are 100%, interested on this, right? If you guys are 100% interested on this play over on FUV, where would be your target? Your target would be that 200-day moving average, right? So that 200-day moving average, which is currently right around that 330-ish mark. But, I'm not a huge fan of that one because every spike we have seen so far has been credible on the fact that we had some sort of press release behind it. I do not see any sort of press release towards it at this time. So FUV, again, trying to get up towards that 330 mark. 330 is where, again, 200-day moving average is. And the only reason, again, I haven't been in love with that play is just there's nothing I see that's leading towards this, climb. It could just be momentum, right? But it's not even like it's that little afloat. It's a 9 million in float play. If I'm missing it, again, please, again, post it. You guys can prove me wrong and say, oh, Deck, there's a link right here. But right now, it is FUV's house. Right now, it is still FUV's house, as this is where momentum's at currently. And sometimes, again, it all comes down to momentum. But right now, again, out of our top gainers, ARAV is doing exactly what SAEX did. Kind of what I talked about in pre-market. SAEX gapped up too high. It just turned into a big-time crash. ARAV is doing the same exact thing. As you guys know, go to the video library. If you guys type in the word gap up, yeah, again, what we have here, gap ups drop big and gap up crashes. So make sure you guys go ahead, check out this link if you guys have not yet. So go ahead and check out this link. Side note, guys, FUV looks like it may get halted soon. FUV looks like it may get halted soon if this stock starts breaking any higher. And as I said, no credibility behind this play, purely momentum. So, right now, this is all purely momentum plays. So right now I'm still sitting on my hands. I'm still sitting on my hands, waiting to see where this hype's going to be going to. And we know the hype's on FUV. And right now, the only thing that I'm nervous of, and that's why I haven't touched FUV, is for the reason I've stated 22 times, which is just I don't see any reason behind it. Now you might say, well, Deck, isn't it just because it's a hot market? It's a hot market, and people want to buy. Yeah, but I don't think that gives it the right to just spike up any sort of random play, right? So I know you guys are still looking for your consistent one. And if you haven't pulled the trigger yet, again, that's fine. I had one trade in pre-market. I had one trade in pre-market. I made $431 ARAV. So again, 1 for 1. Yesterday, again, I went 2 for 2. So yesterday I was 2 for 2, upwards around $580. Today I'm up $431. And I haven't had any trade though during the day yet. So during market hours, I have not traded anything yet. I don't want you guys to think I'm in on something. You guys know I've kind of just been a little iffy on FUV. I haven't touched ARAV during the market hours because I said again these big gap ups go red. CGIX again, that play is starting to fall. As long as it's below its 200-day moving average, we don't want to get involved with it. Our previous supernovas, KRTX, our KRTX is slowly trying to move on up. If KRTX, guys, gets back above 130, that's going to most likely get hot. I'm going to put that on the bottom level too. And then from there, we're also going to want to watch MYOV. How's that doing? MYOV is trying to consolidate a little bit. I would say right now, guys, KRTX, if that gets back above 130, keep that on watch. Now, you may be saying, Deck, that's $123 per share. Well, remember, yesterday I only bought $60 and was able to make $400 on that play alone off a 60 share move. 60 shares. So even if you can only get like 50 shares on KRTX, if this one gets hot, it may be worth it. So just watch the possible break of 130. Right now, FUV, as I said, I kind of hope that one dumps back on down. I don't want that to be the top gainer of the day. I want something more credible, either a previous top gainer or one with actual news. So let's keep these continuously on watch. And again, keeping my eyes peeled for anything that's coming on up. Crazy Legs, $451 on FUV. There you go. Again, that's all you, boss. Again, as you know, I haven't been a huge fan of it just because I don't see the credibility behind it. But hey, if you're getting behind the momentum, I definitely understand. Again, you're running with the hype. I get it. Run with the hype. Money's money, profit's profit. Doesn't matter how you make it in the market as long as you make it, right? Never let anyone tell you, hey, you didn't trade something right, right? So if you're like, oh, I made money on FUV, but was that wrong of me? Not at all. You made money, right? Shut me up real quick, right? Do it. So, great job. again, if you ran with a little bit of hype. I'm just saying I can't pull the trigger because it is more looking like a pump and dump to me, just because I don't see any sort of news behind it. But sometimes in these crazy hot markets where we have stocks ripping over $100 a day, sometimes that's all it takes. There you go, SC2504. Make sure you guys throw those profits over in profits chat. And again, if you guys ever get a little low on motivation or inspiration, again, make sure you head over there and see how many traders are making money just like you can. Right now, 944 in the market. Still FUV has some good hype. KRTX starting to slow down with volume. How's yesterday's MYOV? Nope, MYOV. It does seem like KRTX guys and MYOV have the same pattern. It may be one of those things where they start following each other, right? Notice again, kind of both have little spikes and both have little curls right here. So KRTX, look at this pattern, and then look at MYOV. Kind of little spike, dump, spike, and then try to get a little curl, just dumped on off a little bit. I know it might be a little tough to see. You might be like, that's not really the same. It is a little bit in my eyes. So I'm not saying it's 100% like following each other, but let's see if KRTX starts spiking. Let's see if MYOV moves up with it as well. Other than that, FUV, a little bit more of a pump and dump in my eyes. ARAV, number one top gainer, trying to red to green move. ARAV, guys, possible little red to green move coming on up. I'm going to turn off pre-market for the moment, and you guys can see this right here. If I make this a little bit bigger, switch over to a 1 minute time frame, what can we see right here? Little bit of a U-shape, rebreak of $14, things may get hot. So rebreak of $14, things may get hot over on ARAV. Last play I want to check out is CGIX. CGIX, again, needs to get a back above 528 for volume. Right now, I'm going to put ARAV on the top because everything else is falling. I'm going to put CGIX in the bottom level too, right? So again, KRTX, no. MYOV right now, no, right? FUV, more of a pump and dump in my eyes. ARAV, top gainer of this morning, trying to red to green move, and CGIX slowly trying to move on up as well. Okay, so we kind of started with these two, got away from these two, saw a little pump and dump over on FUV. Previous top gainers haven't done anything yet. Now kind of getting back to ARAV and over towards CGIX. So both these are trying to get a little bit of activity, trying to get a little bit of volume towards it. So again, the game plans are constantly changing, right? Game plans are constantly changing. We know again things could be going crazy in every direction. So ARAV trying to come back on up. That just get halted. Okay, so ARV a little interesting. Just got halted. Yeah, 946.10. Okay, that wasn't even that big a buying volume. So this is going to be a little interesting when it comes out because either this kind of means a couple different things right here. ARAV, I didn't see that much buying volume that led to this type of halt, but maybe when it comes out, this thing could just go crazy. If it does not go crazy, it could definitely come back on down because people are like, why is this halted? So AREV, we kind of have two options. I think this is going to spike really hard or drop really quick back on off. I do not think it's going to sit right back up near these areas. We are halted now at 946. So yeah, I'm not seeing I wasn't seeing a very strong amount of buying volume before the hold. Usually what happens right here is, usually when we see stocks get halted, what do we see more? We usually see a stock, spike hard, spike, 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 get halted, and like gap up and keep going like right there. This one, yes, I understand it was moving on up. It was definitely moving on up, but it wasn't like explosive. It was more just, taking its time, and then all of a sudden it halted. So it was a little bit weird. We're getting a halt right here. Let's see how it comes out at. It's going to get unhalted at 9:51 and 10 seconds, right? So 9:51 and 10 seconds is when it gets halted. Right now it's 9:47, so you got about 4 minutes. Okay. DFFN again needs to break through this green line, the 13 EMA for volume and height, but that could possibly happen coming up in the near future. So everyone look at the live stream. Notice this little green line right here. That's the 13 EMA. Break of the 13 EMA, right at 49.48 cents. That's when this thing could get the mob. Okay. So that's where that could get the mob. If you want to, again, since it is such a tiny play, you could look for a possible run up to, again, the 13 EMA and look to sell from there. So DFFN trying to slowly build on up. Notice it is hitting the high of the day momentum scanner right here. CGIX is also testing that $5 mark. That needs to break the 200-day moving average. So CGIX needs to break the 200-day moving average to get hype. DFFN, I'm putting that on the bottom level too. That's currently, right now, testing the 13 EMA at 48 to 49 cents. All right, so let's see where we are coming out. We're getting out in 2 minutes, guys. Getting out in 2 minutes. DFFN still holding on up at this time. Little side note, guys. I just always want to support all you guys and all your and everything you do, whatsoever at all. Someone reached out to me, Masha, about 2 to 3 days ago. He again just started his own website. Just has to do with kind of like Urban Outfitters type of deal. I do not get anything from this whatsoever at all. I just want to help him out. He's been a member for a very long time. So if you want to check out his new website, use the code DECMAR10, you guys will get 10% off. Again, I do not get anything from this whatsoever. I just want to, again, support all you guys and everything you guys do. So, again, you guys can go ahead and check that out if you guys are interested. Just because we're halted right here, just wanted to go ahead and send that out there. All right, so let's get back down to some stocks right here. AREV gets unhalted in about 40 seconds. AREV gets unhalted in about 30 seconds now. So let's keep this on watch, guys, because I'm interested on seeing where this is going to come out at. ARAV going back up on the live stream. All right, as I said, I want to see a spike right out of this play. I want to see a spike right out of this because if it got halted, people are expecting something. People are expecting, all right, it got halted. I want to see a move. If we don't see that move, I think it could drop pretty quickly. So right now, guys, 4 seconds. Here we go. ARAV. We are back. Little gap up. 418, 425, 440, 450. Let's see if it keeps going right here. So we got a little bit of a pop real quickly. Now let's see if this can hold. Small little pop. And now again, we're looking for that 450 break. Notice again that halt has led to more volume moving on in. The next strong resistance line is $15. Next strong resistance line is $15. Needs to hold $14. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Have an upper shadow up towards the $15 mark. $14 needs to hold to have support. Start cracking underneath $14, it is going to start getting a little bit weak again. But again, after we had that hold right here, things are starting to get a little bit more crazy. The hold kind of brought in volume, as you guys can tell. It's like the hold kind of got traders saying, "Why is this halted? All right, let's see what comes on up in the next few minutes." So again, right now AREV, it's still testing these top highs, and we haven't gotten able to get that big U-shaped pattern yet. Notice again, we are getting a little bit of a rejection after that upper shadow. Upper shadows do show what? Upper shadows do show that stocks are able to pop on up, can't hold that stock, and then come back on down. That's all an upper shadow is. An upper shadow shows that it was up at one point and couldn't hold it, start coming back on down. Upper shadows usually show that a reversal is coming. So we came up to $15 resistance, which is great. But again, having a couple red candles, let's see if this can hold on off or if it's shadow. DFFN, again, has not been able to break that 13 EMA. Now, again, we'll see if we can break this green line right here. That green line, 13 EMA, is where it would get hype, right? So you might say, well, Deck, can I buy at the break of the 13 EMA? That's most likely where a lot of traders are going to look to buy, but we want to see a little consolidation first and then get a nice move from there. Now, I know we haven't seen anything yet during the actual day be able to hold its gains, right? The best play we have probably seen so far may have been DFFN on a little bit of climb and FUV on basically a pump and dump. You can't tell me. You can't tell me I wasn't smart for staying away from FUV, right? So, I mean, FUV, I know you guys are probably like, Deck, stop being a little girl, pull the trigger, right? But it's like, the other plays, KRTX, had phase 2 trials. right? MYOV had positive phase 3 trials. This morning, ARAV had positive results on cancer treatments. FUV had nothing. So, I mean, I'll pull the trigger on plays, but not when they're just, not credible. This is nothing than more than a pump and dump, right? This stock just went straight on up. This stock came straight back on down. So again, this was nothing more than a pump and dump on this play on FUV, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So that's why I wanted to stay away from that. ARAV again getting rejected at $15 top, and again starting to move back on down. So maybe a cup and handle pattern can form, but right now ARAV still having some trouble. DFFN trying to hold up and try to break through that 48-cent mark. We'll see if we're going to be able to consistently move on through, but right now I'm still sitting on my hands. Only 1 for 1 on the day. 1 for 1 on the day, $431. If you're saying, Deck, when was that? That was back in pre-market on ARAV. Again, I'm up every single morning, starting at 6:50 in the morning. So ARAV, I was able to catch the bounce play as the stock started coming back on down towards around, actually this bounce play over here, as the stock started coming back down towards that 2050 mark, right? So that's where I was able to make $431 off 500 shares. Right now, AREV not touching this play yet. Notice upper shadow. If you need an example on these upper shadows, whenever we see that nice big spike, we usually come back down. Oh, I'm blanking out. Well, we had a great one the other day of basically, again, remember I was telling you guys it's basically like genetics, and every single stock like had a big upper shadow towards it. But yeah, whenever we see those upper shadows, I mean, even when you guys look at spikes, like you're looking at like F cell right here, you see those nice big spikes, right? And then you see these upper shadows at the top. Imagine again, what I always like to think of is, I'm a little bit more childish in the way I think of things. Imagine again if you're climbing up a mountain. You're climbing up a mountain. What do you do when you climb to the top of the mountain? Right? When you get to the top of the mountain, you usually put a flag right on the top, right? You climb up Mount Everest. What do you usually do? You say, "Woohoo! I made it!" Right? I made it to the top of Mount Everest. I did it. You plant your flag right on in there. You're as happy as you can be that you made it to the top. But after you make it to the top, what do? You start going back on down. So after you put your flag on the top, again, this like kind of upper shadow, that's usually where you start coming back on down. ARAV right here, what happens? Again, you climb your mountain, you put your flag on the top, you start coming back on down. Even look at ARAV, another good example would be right here, earlier in the week, right? Or not earlier in the week, probably like 2 months ago, right? Right here. Notice this one. Nice big mountain. You climb the mountain, you get to the top, you put your big flag in, right? Your flagpole's at the top, signifying you made it to the top. And then you start going back down the other side. But notice again, like this example right here, how perfect that is. Exactly what I was talking about. Didn't even realize that, this had such a good example, right? But whenever you see again, the flag at the top, that's where you got to get out. So upper shadows, something you always want to look at. That goes with our candlestick lessons if you guys want information on it. That goes again with these candlestick lessons if you guys want more information on it. We're about 30 minutes into the market so far, and all of our top gainers, if that is CGIX, ARAV, and previous top gainers, have not spiked yet. And we can't blame them because ARAV did do a $20 spike in pre-market. So ARAV did have a $20 spike in pre-market. CGIX had a $4 spike in pre-market. So we can't blame these plays saying, Deck, why are they not spiking? They had great news. I mean, they did. If you're saying why is AREV in the red, it had positive, treatments on its cancer, right? It had positive data. Well, I mean, it did go on a $20 spike already, right? So we can't get mad at it for not spiking right now. CGIX again already spiked up, $4 as well, right? But they're not moving yet. How about KRTX? Again, is that stock doing anything yet? KRTX, nothing yet. You're saying, Deck, why is KRTX not spiking on up? This had phase 3 trials that were positive. I mean, the stock did run $100, right? So they're not going to go up forever. MYOV, nothing there yet. So those top four, nothing there yet. DFFN, notice where's the rejection? Again, the rejection, guys, is right at the 13 EMA. Right at the 13 EMA is the rejection. KERN, still looking for that. I want to see, for me to get in on KERN, I need that 50-day moving average break. If you're saying, why is DCIX not going up with news? Well, that's a shipper play. Shippers, as we talked about, are kind of the rare breeds in the stock market. They have their minds of their own. DCIX, TOPS, GLBS, right? And also, again, we kind of see a ton of these type of press releases. Announces an agreement to acquire a tanker for $11 million. We see these happen a good amount, not only on DCIX, but it'd be like, you'll see this on TOPS as well. Let me see here if I can see one. I mean, we kind of see that press release a lot on shippers, where we see a lot of results. We see, hey, we're acquiring a tanker ship. It doesn't get as much hype as we talked about. TOPS, GLBS, DCIX, PXS, any shipper play, they all run in packs, and they haven't run now in like a year and a half. As we know, shippers love to spike hard when they do, but they haven't ran at all this year yet. And it's definitely something that we wish we saw, because they are massive spikes. But the majority of time, shippers again do not do anything. So I'm still again just looking for any sort of continuation right here. I want to see if anything's going to be able to get a little bit more consistent. I'm just gonna give it a few minutes right here to be able to see if we get any sort of nice moves, any sort of nice rips. It has been an awesome week so far, and just the past few weeks. I mean, this is what the fall is really about. As I talk about, guys, the best times to be in the stock market is right now. If you're saying, Deck, what's the best time to be in the stock market? It's right now, right? It's usually from the end of September all the way till like May is usually the best times in the stock market. Um, and this is when we have a lot of the hype, right? We have a lot of the momentum. So if you kind of want to think about it as, when is the hot times? When are the best times to be in the stock market? Well, let's kind of draw this little wheel right here, just because, again, we're waiting for a spike to come on up. So if we look right here, if we have a little wheel and this is like time, right? We could have basically it'd be like August over here, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and then again like July. So, when's usually the hottest times in the market? Well, again, I'll put this in red. And again, this is going to equal hot, right? When do we usually see it, usually get hot? Usually from here all the way to about, like here is when it's usually pretty hot. When does it start getting a little bit slower? Usually from like here to like here. That's usually the slower time, right? Now, again, why does it usually get hot, from the end of September all the way back? Well, again, over the summer, what are all the reasons? Well, again, we have vacations going on, right? We got vacations, traders are with kids, right? So you got, traders with families, right? So you got vacations, you got traders with families, you got, again, just like super nice weather all the time. So, vacations, traders, families, nice weather, right? What's going on, when you actually get back into the actual year? After Labor Day, right? Everyone's back to work. After Labor Day, everyone's back in the market. More volume, more activity, more hype, right? As we get closer, right? As we get from this area to this area, what do we know? End of the year, right? End of the year, everyone wants to start great. Coming down to the end of November to the end of December, everyone wants to start, finishing off their accounts great. Everyone wants to, finish on a great note, so everyone starts buying like crazy. So November and December are great because everyone's buying like crazy. And why would January to like February be great? Because this is the start of the year, right? So this is the start of the year. Just like everyone wanted to end the year great, everyone wants to start the year great, right? And then what starts happening, guys? Right from there, again, everyone wants to start the year great. We'll have good volume, we'll have good consistency, and then we usually get into the summer, which gets a little bit lighter, right? So it's kind of like we're coming down to the end of the year, then we go to the start of the year, and that momentum kind of carries us over until we start getting more till summer, and then things start slowing down a little bit more, right? So just a little, time frame for you right there, a little bit of a graph to kind of just help you get a better understanding. Right now, let's go with a nice little watch list. Again, right now I'm going to watch CGIX for a break of the open, right? So CGIX, that's what I'm looking at as well for that break of the open. Look at this, guys. We just got above the 200-day moving average, or right at the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average at 528. If this stock can again break that open price, and let's see what that open price is. That open price is 576. So CGIX break of the open. Watch for the mob to move in. CGIX, that just get halted? It looks like CGIX just got halted. Yep. So just as we're talking about that play, everyone's kind of having the same idea as we're having right here, which is CGIX. Everyone's looking for that red to green move. Now, with that being said, guys, since CGIX just got halted, a lot of traders, this is most likely going to at least touch that open price. Okay, so this is going to most likely touch that open price. Now, it's the same exact thing as we saw with DFFN. Notice DFFN came up to 48, 49 cents, that resistance line. And what happened? It started falling on down, just like we were looking at AVGR, or not AVGR, excuse me, ARAV, where ARVA came up to $14. Its resistance touched it and came back down. CGIX needs to break the open. If it does not break the open and hold above the open, I'm not talking about just break it for a second. It needs to break it and hold it. It's going to do the same exact thing as DFFN and both ARAV, where they gave back their gains. Right? ARAV gave back its gains. DFFN, again, still trying to hold, but definitely gave back a little bit of gains. Right now, CGIX is next in turn. Right? If this one gets the mob, this one could take on off. If it does not get the break, it is going to fall. So CGIX right now, CGIX halted, looking for a re-break, right? Looking for a re-break of the open. If this cannot hold, right? 575, when it comes up to it, it will fall back down. Bids need to claim and push through 575. So that's very, very important to be watching for. So if you're saying, well, Dak, all right, CGIX got it. Now where can I get in? Different options, of course, where you guys can get in. Different options, of course, what you guys can do right here is going to be A, you guys can buy right after the stock gets unhalted. Okay? Right after it gets unhalted, we'll see where it's at. We may be able to get a quick little rip, a quick little run, a quick little pop on this play. All right. If CGIX can break through that, 575 and hold through 575, that would be awesome. If we can't, again, it's coming back on down, so you can either buy right at the open. It may open up at 550. I am seeing some bids up towards around that 575 mark, but I think it's going to be more towards around like 550ish. Then a run up to 575. You can honestly just look for a quick scalp, right? So you can just do 550 to 575, or you're looking for 575 break up to $6 plus, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for. Yeah, the sequel, KERN's not halted, just a little bit lower volume. DFFN testing once again. DFFN testing that high of the day. 13 EMA, you guys know. Again, big orange, arrow right here. Green line trying to break on through. If you're saying, Deck, when is CGIX getting unhalted? 10:09 and 31 seconds. 10:09 and 31 seconds is when this stock is getting unhalted. I'm going to take off the mic for 1 second. I just want to say, where the heck is my water jug? We got about 1 minute until this gets unhalted, guys. All right, right now it's 10:08 and 31 seconds, so exactly 1 minute from now. Exactly 1 minute from now. DFFN still getting rejected at the high of the day. DFFN still getting rejected at the high of the day, team. All eyes are going to be shifting to CGIX right here. Really quickly, is anything on ARAV? Right now, nothing's on ARAV. Is anything on KRTX, the 100% spiker? Right now, not until the 130 break KRTX. Is anything on MYOV? Right now, nothing's on MYOV. So where is the hype? The hype's on DFFN, and the hype is also on CGIX. CGIX, guys, getting unholted in 20 seconds. Your options to buy is right after the halt for a run up to 575. Look to sell maybe there to lock in some profits, or a break of 575 if it can hold. But this stock is basically looking for, the red to green move. All right, we are live. It opened up right around 550. Here it comes up towards around 575 right now. So this could be a quick little area to lock in something. Now again, stock spiking. It broke on through. Here we go. Quick break on through. All the way up towards a high of 635, but right now, again, back down to 575. Quick high up towards 635, back down towards around 575. This looks like it's going to start moving soon. This looks like it's going to start moving. May get halted in the next few seconds. Looks like it may get halted again. Bids are starting to stack again. Let's see here. Right now, again, good job. If you guys are in on this play, congratulations, but notice how jumpy it is. Please be a smart trader. Again, please be a smart trader. If you guys are up in profit, make sure, again, you guys lock in as you guys go. This thing is a little bit wild at the moment. We have seen 575 break all the way up to 635, back down to $6, now at 610. It's a little bit crazy. I want to see you guys profit. I'm getting excited, but at the same time, I want to make sure you guys are coming out on top. I want to see that re-break of 630. I want to see you guys dancing today. So again, I would love to see that break upwards of 630 again. 575 is still your bottom support. 575 is still holding right now. We want that to consolidate, get the bids back above $6. Right now, all I'm doing is staring at this level 2. Staring at this level 2, we want to see those bids back above $6, get this thing back up towards 610 plus. That's going to bring in some hype. This bids above 610 plus are going to bring in hype. There's the hype starting to come on in again. Let's see bids. Hold 607. Oh, bids back down to 590. Come on, bids. You got to stay above $6 for this stock to really get the hype. Right? Needs to stay above $6, get that hype. And there's the crack of 575 starting to get a little bit weaker. So again, be careful. 575. Notice this is still that bottom area that still needs to hold. This is the area that traders are trying to hold on up at this time. If I'm you, I would have a stop loss no matter what at like 555. If you're saying deck, I've already locked in something, or deck, I'm getting in at 575, looking for the $6 break, stop loss on my eyes would be at like 555 to 560, right? So I can understand if you're in on this play at 560 already, 575 already, you're looking for the breakout, you're looking for the 630 break, but I still would have to be smart on this play and say to yourself, all right, you know what? Stop loss at around 555 or so. Right now, bids are trying to push on up. The ask is at $6, which is great. The bids need to break $6. Yeah, I know I'm a little. There we go. Guys, look how choppy this thing is. I love how, again, this thing is moving, but it's so choppy. But, that's how, again, supernovas are. Big spreads, big volume in every direction, right? I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it soon. Let's see here. Bids got to hold $6 now. Do not go back down to 590s. Going back down to 590s are showing weakness. Break through 630, you're going to get the mob, right? That's what we want. We don't have anything on DFFN yet. We don't have anything on AREV yet. We don't have anything on our previous top gainers yet. We can definitely get the mob over to CGIX for this stock to start spiking even more. But right now, every time it breaks $6, we do see a little bit of a sell-off. Please be smart, guys. Lock in something up at highs. Lock in something up at those highs, even if it's, a little bit, right? Because every time it's still having trouble at that 635 mark. Look at this, still 635. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. You're still good. It's like it hasn't dumped off by any means. It's still right at that 575 mark. But I am urging you to definitely lock in when you guys are up in profit. Lock in something. Doesn't have to be everything, but something for good old Uncle Deck, as I like to say. Well, you guys can see a channel is starting to form. A channel is starting to form on this play. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, this chart, so you can see the channel a little bit better. So there's the channel with 555 bottom support, 555 bottom support, 635 top resistance. All right. And I know, again, probably some of you guys have already been in and out of this play. Already from 575 over to 635. I haven't really checked the chat too much right here because I'm just trying to watch this play and commentate it for you. But we have 5, a 55, and then again a 635, and we're kind of just still floating around that area that we talked about, 575. So let's see if we get a rebreak of $6. Now, if we do get that rebreak of $6, what may you guys want to do? Hey, I'm in on 1,000 shares. Hey, I'm in on 2,000 shares. Let me lock in 500 shares. Let me lock in 1,000 shares. So no matter what, you're leaving green. So you're getting another chance here right now. If, again, you were up in profit, you went down in profit, and now you're back up. The stock is giving you many chances. Make sure you take something when it's giving it to you, right? So right now, I know this is a little bit wild. I know this is a little bit crazy. Let's see if this play is going to be able to. You got a 10K order at $6, 11K order at $6. That's going to help it. 11K order right here in the yellow at $6. That's going to help get a little push. So 11K order, $6 still holding. See it in the blue? It's in the blue right now. That's about $66,000 someone's investing. That usually should help it, move up a little bit. We got a nice little climb up to 615. Like I said, lock in just a little something for Uncle Deck. You guys know, again, you guys are in this channel right now. 10K order still there at $6. 10K order still there. Come on, we want it to pick on up. We want it to pick on up a little bit. What we do not want to see is the level 2 freeze. And I'm not talking about a halt. If we see, again, just a little heads up, if you see that the stock is moving, in a good manner, and all of a sudden you see nothing, all of a sudden it stops moving and it's not halted, get out right away, okay? Just a little heads up for you. That's usually a sign that's going to, stop. Just because it is a little slower, as long as it holds $6, right? If I were you, I'd probably put a stop loss underneath the $6 10,000 share order, maybe $5.95 at this point. Because again, how many times have we tested 635? 1, 2, 3 times. Now again, we're above $6. Everyone should be in the green. Stop loss on me would be around $5.95 most likely. All right? Watch the bids try to push this. $5.95 stop loss. And again, stock is moving on up. If you want to, target would be 625 to 630. 625 to 630 would be your target to try to get some profit here. Here you go. So again, here's another area where you can lock in a little bit. Here, 635. This is the 4th touch coming up. 4th touch. Right? We have established resistance 1, 2, 3 times. 10K order. 10K order at 621. Here's going to be your 4th touch. 10K order at 621. Here's another touch. You can lock in something right here. Lock in a little something right here. 620. You got a. He was 10K. He's now 5,000. Here's a new high of the day right now at CGIX. CGIX trying to move on up still. Right? But, 4th touch right now, still getting rejected. 4th touch right now, still getting a little bit of rejection. Notice, again, it's all right here on the channel as well. You can either be watching this on the level 2, or you can be watching this right here on these channels. We all know that top resistance. If the stock does fall, again, we want to build higher lows. If I'm you, as you guys know, I'm locking up high and also having my stop loss. Deck, where's your new stop loss at? My stop loss would probably be right at $6 at this point. If I'm in at 570, if I'm in at 580, I'm having my stop loss after, again, locking in a little bit already at 635. This is if you already locked in a little bit at 625 to 635, move your stop loss up to $6. If you're in at 580, 590, $6, you already locked in a little bit. Move your entry to where you entered or even a little higher. It's impossible for you to lose then. It'll be impossible for you to lose, right? Because you already locked up a little bit up high, so you're already in the green. So you put your stop loss at your entry or a little bit above your entry, it's impossible for you to go red on this trade. So right now we're still looking for that 635 break. Those 10K shares definitely held it, right? Those 10K shares helped a lot. So again, those people buying $66,000 worth of CGIX, that definitely helped it a lot. So that's why, right now, still watching this play. And again, anything below $6 shows weakness. Right now, we also have a little bit of halt on AREV. AREV just got halted on the way down, though. So AREV just got halted on the way down. That just popped up, as you guys can see on the Holt scanner right here. I can also hear it in my headphones. It'll go bring. So again, that's like a little thing. So AREV just got halted on the way down. But we can also see, guys, little side note. Yeah, that was like the worst sound effect ever on my end. Deck, how did that sound? Bring. So right here, if we look, what's one of the best ways, what is the best ways to know a breakout is coming? One of the best ways to know a breakout is coming is if the stock is building higher lows. What's one of the best ways to know if a breakdown is coming? Is if the stock builds lower highs, right? So look at the stock building lower highs right here. We have 1, 2, 3. Again, that's just the stock falling. So whenever we build lower highs, that's the stock falling. What's one of the best ways to know we're going to get a breakout? Is that the stock builds higher lows, so almost opposite of this, right? Where the stock's moving on up. And that's what we look for in a lot of our breakout patterns. Right now, CGIX, we had the nice, U-shape pattern form right here. Nice red to green move, but we still, again, having trouble at 645. I want to look for the break. We have not fallen underneath $6 yet. $6, I'm going to put another horizontal line right here as support, and I'm going to put this in light blue. This is going to hold up as what? Your baby support, right? That's your light support at the moment. So light support's at $6, main support's at 558. Also, I will add the VWAP if you guys are interested right here. VWAP's all the way back down towards around 522. Woo! CGIX, stop loss still not hit. CGIX, guys, all the way up. You got a 25K order at 640. Watch for a nice little push right here. So again, stock got a nice little break all the way up towards a new high of the day over on CGIX. This stock is still trying to hold on up now at 635. This is still an area that has not clear-cut broke. Notice we have 1 high, 2 high, 3 high, 4 high. Still underneath that red line. Needs to keep on pushing here. Good job so far. This play is still moving on up. Right? This play is still moving on up. Stop loss still not hit at that $6 or $5.95 mark. So again, awesome job, guys. This is great. And let's see if this thing keeps on pushing over on CGIX. We know we're in a hot market. We know, again, we can continue on this play. This is all from that halt that happened. And again, this is starting to bring in that nice big volume, that nice big rip. So again, this is great so far over on CGIX. I'm just trying to give you the nice little play-by-play. Still moving on up. Next resistance line, 675. If you guys have 500 shares left, if you guys have 1,000 shares left, lock in 250. Lock in 250 shares coming on up. So again, lock in 250 shares at these highs. I don't care how many shares you have left, you're locking in 250 shares here. Because you know what? If it does come back on down, you're locked in money up high. There's no way you can lose. What's the best strategy in the world? The best strategy in the world is making sure no matter what, you come out on top. The best strategy in the world is when you play a stock, it's impossible to lose. So many people lose when they're trading. The best strategy is to make sure that you always come green. You always, sitting on top right here. We are still seeing CGIX continue to move on this play. I know Rapid, his target on CGIX is looking for that $8 mark, and that's definitely a big possibility. Here's new high of the days coming on up. Bids are trying to push up to 675 now. Again, CGIX and the high of the day momentum scanner down here. Again, still getting a nice rip and run. I'm going to show the high of the day momentum scanner because we can still see the main bids on CGIX. So we still got CGIX still moving right here, watching the bids. 675 push. Again, you guys should have about half your position left or maybe a little less than half your position left. So at this point right now, you guys are probably having half your position left or a little bit less than half your position. Okay? So you guys are still good. Here's $7. $7 break. You guys are probably going to get halted again on CGIX. You guys are probably going to get halted again, I would say, on CGIX if this keeps moving the way it is. Come on, give us that hold. Get another little break right here. Give us the halt on CGIX. Give us that rip. Here again, starting to pick on up. 740, 745. Lock in another 250. Lock in another 250 here, guys, up towards these 745 highs. Lock in another 250. You guys should be on your last leg of your shares, most likely. Last leg of your shares, most likely on this play. So right here, CGIX still getting a nice big rip, still getting a nice move. Come on, keep getting that push. I want to see one more Holt. That's going to bring everyone over towards this play. So if we get that one more Holt, that's going to bring everyone over towards this play on CGIX. But again, you got probably your last little leg right here, guys. Last little leg on this, on your shares. I don't think, anyone should be having much left, and that's because you're locking in as the stock climbs. Right now, again, I'm looking to see if that's going to be able to break through that 750 mark. RG stock, that's absolutely awesome.